Okay, gang, on this Friday afternoon, we did a thing. Grand Junction, we did a thing today. Earlier, we tied just a couple of hours ago at 98 degrees. Official number is in. Even before my system updated the numbers, I had to go back, dig into the books, and find this. New record today, 99 degrees. Happened around 3:26 this afternoon. Where were you? And we hit 99 a couple of times. We just kind of fluctuated back and forth. And this won't be the only time or the only place that hits the hot temperatures. Moving forward this weekend, that's what's in the forecast. We're going to keep heat going through the weekend. We'll keep heat going into next week. We do actually have a frontal system passing by the Front Range now, so you see some of that storm activity. In fact, a good line of storms associated with that severe thunderstorm warning all the way across Burlington into Kansas. There's that cold front location. It's going to continue spreading southbound. On the backside of it tomorrow afternoon, it should trigger a few storms in the San Juan Mountains. But I use that term loosely, storms, because I think most of what's going to fall, maybe some rain, but we're going to be dealing with rain evaporating, that virga, if you will, because we have a lot of dry layers in the atmosphere. Now, granted, we're competing with higher elevation sites like the San Juan Mountains, so we may actually get some rain and some cloud-to-ground lightning, but areas around that, lower in elevation, that get under one of those rain clouds, you won't get any rain production. You're going to get some gusty outflow winds. So that's Saturday afternoon. This is satellite radar imagery right now. Spotty showers at best right around Wolf Creek Pass, just some rain and some lightning strikes. Central Divide region, somewhat quiet. We do have storms firing over the Red Feathers Lake just outside of Fort Collins right now, but overall, this is a very dry pattern. And the bigger problem with the dry conditions and the hotter temperatures will be the wind speeds. And I have us breezy right around the 15-mile-per-hour zone moving forward for the next handful of days. 5 to 15 is basically what you can anticipate. Now, in the early morning hours when the temperatures change, we get that drainage wind. And in the evening hours when the sun goes down, we get that drainage wind again because the temperature change. But breezy at both of those locations, or I should say time frames, are enjoyable. But throughout the day, we don't have much. As far as top wind gusts go, we barely got to the 20 and near 25-mile-per-hour zone for Montrose and for the Delta area. But really, it's been about the hotter temperatures. We don't have hazardous weather. This is a very different story, a very different tune that we're singing, because previously this summer it was all about the flood watches, the flood warnings, the flood advisories. Now we're thinking there could be some red flag warnings in our immediate future. Now, there are red flag warnings right now. Fire weather watches way to our north, fire weather warnings way to our north, and then to our west, we have excessive heat warnings, heat advisories. These are the oranges and the hot pinks and the reds and the tans, wind and heat related issuance. Now, that's for other states. You'll notice Colorado doesn't have that, but I think we'll get some red flag warnings next week. Now, we already have our humidities in the single digits in some areas, below 15%. That's what you need. We've been below 15 for the last couple of days. We just don't have that consistent wind speed at the 20-25 mile per hour zone. So that's what we're thankful for. High pressure system, I mean, we're thankful for the clear skies it's giving us, but this is really drying us out and really warming us up. Now, a couple of days ago, we had it over the Four Corners region. Just yesterday, it was over Nevada. Today, it's migrated towards Utah, and this is kind of the pattern that this high pressure system is going to do. Now, a couple of days ago, I talked about, what about another source region of rain showers? What about if a hurricane drove up the Baja Peninsula and started to feed in a nice subtropical tap? That's a great possibility, but this high pressure system is so strong, it's going to deflect any of those hurricane activities away from mainland, away from the Baja Peninsula, away from filtering into the desert Southwest. So this is a strong one, and what we're looking at is the possibility of getting some low pressure systems and cold fronts. By the way, here's that cold front tonight, just backing across the eastern plains, not much to it. Here's what it's doing tomorrow afternoon in the San Juans, just triggering a little bit of storms. But I want your eyes in the Pacific Northwest, because now we're getting into a fall winter pattern where we have these cold fronts swinging through. Granted, they're going west to east too far to the north, and that may become a problem for us late next week. If they remain too far in the northern latitudes, they won't be enough to suppress this high pressure system and kick it around, bully it up a little bit. So with that being the case, if this high pressure system sticks and these lows can't do much to move it, then our heat will go even longer into next week. In fact, we only have the hotter temperatures all the way through Wednesday of next week, Thursday of next week. By the way, records for Grand Junction, we're basically there with our forecast. It's just a matter of now, are we going to get a 14th day at or above 100 degrees? I think it's very possible starting on Monday, but any afternoon with upper 90s in the forecast, that could happen. Montrose, our records are consistent in the mid-90s, right around 95, and you can see we're close. We're going to have more heat as we get into the beginning of next week, so please take it easy.